Good evening. This is December 21st, 1935. I'm sorry, it's not. It's December 21st, 2020. Going back in time. No, we're not going to do any time travel tonight. But I do want to talk to you about the December 21st, 1935 edition of the Saturday Evening Post. This right here is the picture that appeared on the cover. The title of it is Christmas, Santa Claus Reading Mail. This work is of the noted artist Norman Rockwell, who lived from 1894 to 1978, was 162nd of the 322 Rockwell paintings published by this magazine, the last of the 7 published in 1935. Norman Rockwell was an outstanding artist, an outstanding human being. I read one story about him being offered a job as a cartoonist by a newspaper. They're going to pay him some pretty good money to illustrate cartoons on a weekly basis. He turned them down, not because he didn't have a sense of humor, but because he could not work on anybody else's timetable. If you got to have something in every week, you got to meet deadlines and that type of thing. That wasn't for him. That's not the way he worked. He was a perfectionist. He believed in taking his time and doing the job right. This was Rockwell's 6th picture of Santa Claus, featured on the cover of the Saturday Evening Post. The original oil of the canvas painting was 35 by 27 inches, or 89.60 times 68.5 centimeters, is housed in a private collection. This painting appears as illustration 337 of Norman Rockwell's America by Christopher Finch, as illustration 299 of Norman Rockwell, artist and illustrator by Thomas Buchner, on page 173 of Norman Rockwell, illustrator by Arthur T. Guptill, and on page 131 of Norman Rockwell, a definitive catalog by Laurie Norton Moffett. Amazingly, the original copy sold for 5 cents. A number of books have been written about Norman Rockwell, who was such a phenomenal person. In this picture, Santa has a huge stack of letters on his desk and a satchel of mail waiting on the floor. He obviously has many letters to read and a catalog. According to the publication date, December 21st, he is fast running out of time. In only 4 days, he'll have to load his sleigh. Like a good bookkeeper, he is recording each child's Christmas wish in his thick ledger. He is scratching his head with his quill pen, perhaps wondering how he will finish on time. Meanwhile, Santa seems to be enjoying his pipe in a day when tobacco use was more acceptable. In recent years, political correctness has resulted in a call for removal of pictures of Santa with his pipe. Rockwell was himself a pipe smoker and was not the first to depict Santa this way. In 1812, author Washington Irving, who lived from 1783 to 1859, under the name Diedrich Knickerbocker, published a satirical history of New York in which Santa rides over the tops of trees in a horse-drawn wagon. He is described as the Dolly Dutchman who smokes a clay pipe. In 1822, A Visit from St. Nicholas, a poem credited to Clement Clarke Moore, who lived from 1779 to 1863, a professor at the General Theological Seminary in New York City, was first published. His work includes the words, "The stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke encircled his head like a wreath." Artist Thomas Nast, who lived from 1840 to 1902, published pictures of a pipe smoking Santa in Harper's Weekly in 1865, 1876, 1878, and 1881. These are drawings of early 20th century artists are found at a very interesting blog called The Briar Files. I'm part of a Facebook group called Save Santa's Pipe. And over the years, I've been able to collect a few pipe smoking Santas. And by the way, when I first had this shirt made about 10 years ago, there was, they went on the computer and found the correct design, and I saw them working on it, and they had another idea in mind, and they were about to prepare me a shirt in which there would be another Rockwell picture with a Santa without a pipe, and I told them, I'm not paying for that one. I want the one from December 21st, 1935. So, to keep the customer satisfied, they did what I asked. Here, if you can see this, Santa has a pipe in his hand. There he is. Here's another one. That's all I've got. If I find any more, I'm definitely going to add them to my collection. But you can imagine they're pretty rare nowadays. There's a lot of old pictures out there of Santa with a pipe. But they say it sends a bad message. Political correctness can get downright ridiculous at times. But political correctness aside, Christmas, Santa Claus reading mail is still loved and enjoyed by many people 85 years after the original publication, published today, 85 years ago. And I only wear this sweatshirt in the month of December. Pretty soon it'll be washed and it will go back in my closet and not worn again until December of 2021. But forget about political correctness. Let Santa keep his pipe and have a Merry Christmas.